What's up everybody, it's Supersmallchibiwolf here, and today I'm going to be talking about Nintendo Gamecube and why I love the Nintendo Gamecube and what made it so amazing. So many things I have to say about this console. It's 20th birthday, so let's discuss about all of these things which I have in my mind. The Nintendo Gamecube is so beautiful. Let me talk about first that the console. So the console of the Nintendo GameCube, it's amazing. You got many of the, for example, the boxes that is here. The Mario Party 7 bonus set, which includes Mario Party 7, the mic, the game actual controller. It's all beautiful. It's so cool. And then over here you could see the other console variations that the Nintendo GameCube had, and as well as hiding over here F-Zero GX, which was the last F-Zero game, unfortunately. Hopefully F-Zero makes it to Switch soon. But yeah, GameCube had the last home console game of F-Zero, because I know they've been in, I think it was in Game Boy SP or Advance was the really last F-Zero game. I might be wrong, but one of the handheld Nintendo games had the really last F-Zero game, but the last home console game, GX. But back to the consoles. As you can see, there's so many consoles. There's the the original PlayStation calls it Jet Black. I think it's just called Black on GameCube, but yeah, I guess it's just Black. And then you got the cool Mobile Suit Gundam Char version, which is so amazing and cool. I saw a few unboxings of that one, and so that looks really cute and just amazing and cool. The Mobile Suit Gundam Char version of the Nintendo GameCube. And then you got the Gales of Darkness, Pokemon Gales of Darkness GameCube, which I've seen. I never played that game, but I know, what was it? I found a sealed copy of it years ago. A few years ago, and yo, I never played it, but let me just say, holding that thing, the sealed one, I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. I personally, never played that game, and I don't know. I think I saw some gameplay, and it really didn't get to me that much. But moving on from all of that, I would say the GameCube, it all looks cool. The consoles, as you can see here, I believe there's more variations and designs and custom GameCubes out there. If you did not know, you could take off that little black top, or the top with the Pokemon Gales of Darkness, design, and you could switch it with another one. If you did not know, that's what you could do. This console also provided 4 players right away, just like the N64 in the front. I love that it uses a memory card, and instead of, because in the N64 you had to put it inside of the console and then take it off with like a fork or a knife, and it was kind of annoying. But here is just a memory card, like the PlayStation 1, boom boom in the front, put the memory card in, done. And the controller ports and the microphone to play Mario Party 7 or other games. This is just, overall, I'm trying to say, it's really beautiful and a really great time. What I also enjoy about the Nintendo GameCube is that the intro of every game, you press it to start to power it on, and then it has boop, and then poof. And then it changes every time. The intro of the GameCube intro scene, the introduction, the setup screen. I mean, yes, the setup screen is what I meant to say. And then over there, F-Zero GX. I spoke about that, and overall, let me just say that the Nintendo GameCube, I love the bundles, the boxes and all of that. And it's such a shame that we lost that years ago, and it sucks, because I remember having that on top of because I used to have a big the shelf, and then I used to have that box right there on top of the shelf next to the, I believe it was the Game Boy, one of the Game Boys and PSP boxes. I've always collected boxes, of things I loved, and yeah, we just lost them. It's just so awful, but yeah. And it's such a great thing as well. Also, if you did not know, this was the last game in generation no, what was it? Yes, the last gaming generation and the beginning of something special with Sega. So as you can see, Sega's in the background. The Sega Dreamcast. Now the Sega Dreamcast, why I bring it up in this video is because a little bit because it had a short life, and then everything of Sega was ported into other consoles like the GameCube. The GameCube had so many Sega games, Monkey Ball, of course Sonic the Hedgehog, and so many other iconic Sonic games. And this was such a beautiful time for both Nintendo and Sega, I would say. Maybe less of Sega, but really great time for the fans of the Sega games. Let me say, and I love the Sega games. It's really cool, and this was just wonderful. To have all those other games included from such another amazing company like Sega onto the GameCube. So it was really cool. Now the next thing I'd like to discuss is the control. Not just the regular controller, but the other side controls. For example, they had like a mic, which is really cool, and other consoles. What was it back then? They had other weird controls and stuff like this besides the usual controller. Like I remember the PlayStation 1 had like a boomerang control, which is really weird, and then the what was it? The GameCube had the microphone, which played other games, and especially the one game I always associate the microphone with is the Mario Party 7, specifically that one, because it was really great. I love those mini games with 7 in the microphone. I think it was really enjoyable and fun. Now the other thing I would like to discuss is that one thing I enjoy is that what Nintendo's been doing, which is like kind of putting over the old games and all that. But one thing that I really hate is that it's mostly just the Wii U. They basically said, okay, this game console sucked and it failed, so let's just put it over to Switch. In my opinion, opinions vary on the Wii U. Maybe it's your favorite game console, then cool. You do you, I do me. But moving on from that, I hope that Nintendo brings back, some classics. For example, I would love, because I know like the Wii or Wii U had like the Prime trilogy. I never played those games, and it's really $100 and up for Prime 1. I ain't doing that. So maybe port the trilogy over to Switch, and maybe port other games to Switch. That would be cool. They already got Super Mario Sunshine and Switch. And I would love Nintendo to do like The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, Twilight Princess, and pick whatever other Zelda game, make it a trio, a bundle, and say the Triforce collection. Because if Mario could get a 3D All-Stars, then why can't Zelda get a Triforce collection on Switch? You know what I mean, for its anniversary. And same for Metroid Prime, games. But yeah, that would have been really beautiful to get on the Switch this year. Now, moving on from that, I would like to discuss also is that, I have so many amazing gaming memories, right, from many consoles. And the GameCube is one of them. I played with my friend, and, he had, what was it? He had the Mario Kart Double Dash bundle, the gray GameCube. And I remember all three, me, him, and other people, and even with cousins, we used to play games such as Mario Parties and Mario Kart and other games. It's really great memories I have with this console. And then watching, I remember in stores they had other designs. Of course, they didn't have these cool designs like the Chaw, Mobile Suit Gundam up there, or the Pokemon Gales Darkness. I think I seen one. I did see a bundle, but I forget which one I've seen the most. I know it's one or two, maybe 3 bundles I've seen in the store, around this game. And what was this? The generation of 6th generation this was, yes. Because I remember, because PS3 is 7th gen, so 6 would be GameCube gen. So yeah, the 6th generation of gaming. Yeah, it's a really great time. Really beautiful time as well. Also one thing I would like to discuss about is that the GameCube has something called, if you look over here to the Chaw Nintendo game, the Mobile Suit Gundam, Chaw GameCube, it has something under it, and that is called a GameCube player. which means you could play Game Boy, Game Boy SP, I believe Game Boy Color games, just Game Boy games in general, all of them on the Nintendo GameCube on the TV. And I think that was really amazing and cool. So yeah, wow. You know, thinking about Nintendo GameCube and talking about it for this long, yeah, I even needed to make, I mean, a few videos, attempts of making this video because how long it's been. Let me just say this: I am not one to get all out personal in this channel, but the GameCube, you know, it's been one of those consoles which, for the longest since its release, I've been playing and playing a lot, and all up until, because what was it? Let's say this is early 2000s, right? And 2013 came out with the PS4. So all of those years until 2013, I've been playing Mario Party 7 and other games non-stop. And yeah, it was just great, you know, it was such a wonderful console. And of course I played other games, the PS1 as well, you know, the GameCube and PS1 and the Game Boy SP. Those three, that was the trio back then for me. Sony and Nintendo, yeah. And of course, like I said, I played Sega and other consoles, obviously. But, you know, the one console that I've always wanted to play, thinking back and seeing that, because, you know, those SNK games was also on GameCube, was that Neo Geo. But I remember seeing Neo Geo in stores too, and around the same, but it wasn't as common as GameCube. But you know, like these you see these bundles, you know, like the Mario Party 7 bundle. That's a rare bundle now, and it's always been hard to find a bundle like that. You know, it was never like, from what I remember, from the area I lived in. So maybe it varies. Maybe in your area growing up, you've seen the Mario Party 7 and char bundles every day. But me personally, you know, when the bundle came out, that was limited time. You know what I mean? Yeah. Nowadays, I've noticed even with the PS3s, ever since the 7th gen, bundles have been. You know, you could see a bundle and find it. You know, it's like a common thing you come across. You know, ever since the PS3 days and Wii days. But before that, like the GameCube and all those other generations before, GameCube and below, to me personally, I did not see any of that. You know, that was really hard to find and rare. You know, you gotta be lucky. You know, it's the equivalent of trying to find a next-gen gaming console now, unless the Switch. I mean, not talking about the Switch, because the Switch is current gen as well, but the PS5 is what I'm talking about. You know, you ain't gonna find that easy. But yeah, I don't know. I look back at these memories I have relating to the GameCube, and I'm thinking, you know, if I kept a sealed copy of a few copies of Mario Party 6 or 7 or any of that, I would probably have like one of those sports cards, you know, like maybe a GTR or something, because that's not even joking. Like seriously, these GameCube is one of the most expensive gaming consoles to collect ever since 2019 or 20, because due to, you know, it's one of those consoles that jumped up in price, you know, throughout these years, recent years, let's say recent, and especially in 2020s. Ooh, I'm happy that I collected all the GameCube games that I've wanted. You know, the more, you know, hard to find ones a few years ago, you know, being, yeah, like 2 years ago or one, before everything went all insane, because ooh, I was trying to help someone find, you know, cheap games and all that, and I come across GameCube. I was like, hey, maybe you could get GameCube, we could play some GameCube Mario Party 7, you know. Ooh, it was like, ooh, no. Yeah, and it's just too much, in my opinion, for what people's trying to ask, especially a bundle. If you want a getting a game, this bundle, Mario Party 7 bonus set for GameCube. Okay, you see this? This is the equivalent of a PS5, of a scalper once, for PS5. If you think I'm lying, okay, maybe it went down the price, but in the year 2020, from when I checked last time, you know, this was literally, and I'm not joking, around $900 to $1,000. I'm not joking. Maybe it went up, maybe it went down. That Shaw bundle, definitely over 1,000. I'm not doubting that. I would be surprised. I would be surprised if that's under $1,000. That Shaw bundle, Mobile Suit 1. And me, I'm not trying. I don't like when people talks about a lot of expensive game price and all that, because it kind of inspires other people to be scalping and doing other things. But this is just to give you an idea of what I'm, how I feel. You know, I don't like scalpels. I think everyone should get an opportunity to play video games and enjoy them. Oh, but let me just say this. From what I've seen, I'm just happy, and I hope everyone gets a good price like I did for most of the things. So the next thing I would like to talk about is, now I personally don't like to spoil my future plans on the channel, but I'm going to be live streaming, GameCube. Because I love original hardware. If you couldn't tell. If you've been here for over a year on my channel, or half a year, you know I love retro games, the classics. So yeah, I'm gonna live stream this one day. All those games that I have, and cool, so many things. But let me just say this, I personally want to hear other people's opinion. I mean, I covered the mic by accident. I want to hear everyone else's personal opinions. So tell me in the comments what you all had, your personal opinions on the GameCube. Did you grow up with it and all of that? I would say it's one of my favorite, gaming consoles of all time. One day I'll make a list of top 10 or 5 really amazing Nintendo Switch gaming consoles, And thinking about it, seeing how a lot of games being ported nowadays, and seeing, the GameCube, I would say, was the really last gaming console to have originality 100%. And what I mean by that is that you really didn't see a lot of games being ported, into this console. And then, ever since like the Wii and PS3 era, everything's been a remastered remake. And, this was the last console to have a F-Zero game and be original, and such a wonderful time. And then the Game Boy player, which you could, so much stuff was included in the GameCube that, when you look at it compared to like other Nintendo gaming consoles, moving on, like the Wii and Wii U. Yes, the Wii gave you the opportunity to play, GameCube games, which was cool, but it didn't do nothing for handheld wise, and neither did no, wait, they had the virtual console, I believe. I never used it, never played that. But I did see some gameplay videos. Never used it though. Was always, physical copies, had. But yeah, the last thing I would like to talk about is that, the good and bad. Now, maybe I make a video about this in the future. Retro games versus newer games. Another hint. But let me just say this. GameCube, let me talk about the bad things about the GameCube a little bit. Is the small discs. This is the worst thing about a GameCube, having a GameCube, was the discs. The discs are so small that, for example, if I scratch up my PS1 disc, I go to a gaming store, they fix it up with a machine. I scratch say if someone scratches a GameCube game, they don't use that machine because it's too small to fit in the machine, and it just doesn't go in. But besides that, it doesn't clean the disc, the same, because it's a smaller size than the disc. So those things tend to get it scratched easy. And this is advice for if you plan to own a GameCube in the year 2021. The discs are very fragile. It could get scratched easy, so watch out. And there's no way to repair it like a PS1 disc. So that's just a small advice if you plan to get it. Now, with that being that, I'm going to end off the video. I hope you enjoyed this video. The Nintendo GameCube was such a wonderful console. Tell me all your favorite games and memories within the Nintendo GameCube, and I truly hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and until next time, bye.